What's up? Today we are reacting to Dance with the Devil by Immortal Technique. Apparently this was the music video that came out 15 years ago. Let's watch it. I've heard this has a really dark meaning behind it, and it based off of a true story. So let's go.
I once knew a nigga whose real name was William. His primary concern was making $1 million, being the illest hustler that the world ever seen. He used to fuck movie stars and sniff coke in his dreams. A corrupted young mind at the age of 13. Nigga never had a father and his mom was a fiend. She put the pipe down, but for every year she was sober, her son's heart simultaneously grew colder. He started.
Okay, so what we got is he knew past tense. And his goal was to make a bunch of money. He had no father figure. His mom was a drug fiend, but after she quit, William's heart became like colder or like darker.
And hanging out, selling bags in the projects, checking the young chicks looking for hit and run prospects. He was fascinated by material objects, but he understood money never bought respect. He built a reputation.
Money never bought respect. That's good. You can't buy respect or happiness. Sorry.
Cause he could hustle and steal, but got locked once and didn't hesitate to squeal. So criminals he chilled with didn't think he was real.
So he decided to start crime, and then he got locked up, and then did it again. And people thought he was nothing. So
see, me and niggas like this have never been equal. I don't project my insecurities on other people. He fiended for props like addicts with pipes and needles, and so he felt he had to prove to everyone he was evil. A feeble-minded young man with infinite potential, the product of a ghetto-bred capitalistic mental. Coincidentally, dropped out of school to sell weed, dancing with the devil. Eventually dropped out of school to sell weed, dancing with the devil, smoked until his eyes would bleed. But he was sick of selling trees and gave in to his greed.
So he dropped out of high school, and he wanted to show people how evil he could be, like overtaking in a way that's like people weren't noticing him. So he's like, I'll show you what I can do. So he dropped out of high school and started selling pot, and then stopped selling pot. So what?
With the devil, smoked until his eyes would bleed. But he was sick of selling trees and gave in to his greed.
He gave in to his greed, so he wanted more money. So he probably did worse things. And it sounds like he was stoned a lot of it, because he would smoke with the devil till his eyes would bleed.
Everyone trying to be trife never faced the consequences. You probably only did a month for minor offenses. Ask a nigga doing life if he had another chance. But then again, there's always the wicked that knew in advance.
That's good point. You only get one. You only got locked up for like a little bit for minor offenses, and you don't care. What about those guys that are locked up for life sentences? How do they think? Was it actually worth it?
It's forever with the devil on a cold cell block. But that's what happens when you rape, murder, and sell rock. Devils used to be gods, angels that fell from the top. There's no diversity because we're burning in the
guards, angels. Devils used to be gods, angels before it hit rock.
melting pot. So Billy started robbing niggas, anything he could do to get his respect back in the eyes of his crew. Starting fights over little shit up on the block. Stepped up to selling mothers and brothers to crack rock, working overtime.
So he would beat people and do a ton of illegal things to impress his guys that he was with him, because he got peer pressure back then.
making money for the crack spot. Hit the jackpot and wanted to move up to cocaine, fulfilling the Scarface fantasy stuck in his brain. Tired of the block niggas treating him the same. He wanted to be major like the cutthroats and the thugs, but when he tried to step to him, niggas showed him no love. They told him any motherfucking coward can sell drugs. Any bitch nigga with a gun can bust slugs. Any nigga with a red shirt can front like a blood. Even Puffy smoked the motherfucker up in the club, but only a real thug can stab someone till they die. Standing in front of them, staring straight into their eyes, Billy realized that these men were well guarded, and they wanted to test him before business started. Suggested raping a bitch to prove he was cold-hearted. So now he had a choice between going back to his life or making money with made men. Up in the sight, his dreams about cars and ice made him agree a hardcore nigga is all he ever wanted to be. And so he met them Friday night at 2:45.
It's not meant for kids. I don't really care, honestly. I'm gonna put it as not so I don't get demonetized when you get underage or something. So he said he ate grape, like the fruit, YouTube, alone, and we will get the respect. And so, it's something that
Everyone trying to be trife never faced the consequences. Probably only did a month for minor offenses. Ask a nigga doing life if he had another chance. But then again, there's always the wicked that knew in advance. Dance forever with the devil on a cold cell block. But that's what happens when you rape, murder, and sell rock. Devils used to be God's angels that fell from the top. There's no diversity because we're burning in the melting pot. They drove around the project slow while it was raining, smoking blunts, drinking and joking for entertainment, until they saw a woman on the street walking alone, 3 in the morning, coming back from work on the way home. And so they quietly got out the car and followed her, walking through the projects. The darkness swallowed her. They wrapped her shirt around their head and knocked her onto the floor. This is it, kid, now you got your chance to be raw. So Billy yoked her up and grabbed the chick by the hair and dragged her into a lobby that had nobody there. She struggled hard, but they forced her to go up the stairs. They got to the roof and then held her down on the ground, screaming, "Shut the fuck up and stop moving around." The shirt covered her face, but she screamed and clawed. So Billy stomped on the bitch till he broke in her jaw. Them dirty bastards knew exactly what they were doing. They kicked her until they cracked her ribs and she stopped moving, blood leaking through the cloth. She cried silently, and then they all proceeded to rape her violently. Billy was made to go first, but each of
they all did. It wasn't just one of those, they all did.
them took a turn, ripping her up and choking her until her throat burned. Her broken jaw mumbled for God, but they weren't concerned. When they were done and she was lying bloody, broken and bruised, one of them niggas pulled out a brand new 22. They told him that she was a witness for what she'd gone through, and if he killed her, he was guaranteed a spot in the crew. He thought about it for a minute, she was practically dead, and so he leaned over and put the gun right to her head.
I'm falling and I can't turn back. I'm falling and I can't turn back.
Right before he pulled the trigger and ended her life, he thought about the cocaine with the platinum and ice, and he felt strong standing along with his new brothers. Cocked the gat to her head and pulled back the shirt cover, but what he saw made him start to cringe and stutter, cause he was staring into the eyes of his own mother. She looked back at him.
Being raped, kidnapped, raped, sorry, kidnapped, raped, and beat his own mother, broken her jaw and ribs, for the mother and her life in the 23rd, break that.
Him and cried cause he had forsaken her. She cried more painfully, and when they were raping her, his whole world stopped. He couldn't even contemplate. His corruption had successfully changed his fate, and he remembered how his mom used to come home late, working hard for nothing, cause now what was he worth? He turned away from the woman that had once given him birth, and crying out to the sky cause he was lonely and scared, but only the devil responded cause God wasn't there. And right then he knew what it was to be empty and cold, and so he jumped off the roof and died with no soul. They
Jumped off the roof and died with no soul after tortured.
say death takes you to a better place, but I doubt it. After that they killed his mother and never spoke about it. And listen, cause the story that I'm telling is true, cause I was there with Billy Jacobs and I raped his mom too. And now the devil follows me everywhere that I go. In fact, I'm sure he's standing among one of you at my shows. In every street cipher listening to Little Thug's flow. He could be standing right next to you and you wouldn't know. The devil grows inside the hearts of the selfish and wicked. White, brown, yellow, and black color is not restricted. You have a self-destructive destiny when you're inflicted, and you'll be one of God's children that fell from the top. There's no diversity because we're burning in the melting pot. So when the devil wants to dance with you, you better say never, because a dance with the devil might last you forever.
It feels cool. It feels nice. Like smoking. A lot of people smoke or do drugs to be cool, and then after they're done doing it, they're like, this is cool, this is chill, it's a vibe. And what happens is, like say you're smoking and you get your first high, you're amazed by it, and then you fall slowly until you're normal, and then you do it again, and you reach that top again, and then you slowly fall back down, and then you go up, and don't get as much as you did, and then you fall back down slowly, and then you try and keep doing it to find that natural high once again. And the more times you go up, the harder you crash down. That's the best thing. Okay, so wait, he says he wants to know that this is not about how you do me. He's like Bobby or something. So wait, Willie and Bobby, so Bobby or Willie, whatever, jumped off a roof, killing himself. After he raped his mother, broke her rib, and kidnapped her. And at the end of the day, those gang members that stood beside Bobby after Bobby killed himself, they killed his mother. Oh, the 22 shot her right there. Wow.
And for those of you who don't know, bro, I'm a real New Yorker, fam. So when I say I'm a real New Yorker, I'll put it to you like this. His big homie, Shotty, yeah, he used to go to my high school. He was under the wing, he was a little junior around us. And like, we just looked at, never looked at him like that. Even to this day, there's songs that I've written that people still ask me questions about. Even 20 years later, people ask me, is Dance with the Devil a true story? I can take people, if they really want, to the building where this incident happened in Harlem. And the truth is that actually did happen. And those people that were allegedly responsible for that began dying. And that's why it became such a powerful story, because everyone's like, oh, you're telling hood tales. What if these motherfuckers come back for you? And I said, let them. Right. What they gonna do? Like, you think that the neighborhood is gonna protect them after they find out?
Okay, so essentially, all these guys did kidnap her mother, raped her, beat her, and the one guy killed himself recently. Was a little mom, killed the woman, and all those guys that were responsible in there for the murder, they all started slowly dying. Like, seriously, that's actually pretty cool. That's really cool. Anyways, let me know if you want me to rap something else. what I want to do is I really want to react to J Daddy. If you haven't checked him out, check him out. It's just J Daddy. Also, to support all my friends, go to Bucketman129 Studios, or just search Bucketman129, you'll find it. And then go to, I think it's father underscore star 0818 is the first one that should pop up. This. Okay, I can't find it, but literally just search this up and you will find this immediately. Watch this. This is amazing. And comment good food. I don't know if that'll make him happy, but yeah. Alright, that should be everything. Have a good night. And I don't know when I'm uploading this shit, by the way, so yep, bye.